So, our first review of the day is going to be for the film Roofman. Roofman is a movie starring Channing Tatum there. It is based on a true story there about this real life guy who was called the Roofman there, who basically his MO was that he'd climb on top of roofs and then he would break into them and then the place and drop down there and rob the place. Usually they were like fast food restaurants, they were like McDonald's or Burger Kings or places like that that he was usually do. And then before he ended up getting caught, they say he robbed up to like 45 restaurants there before he eventually got caught there. But when he did get caught, he ended up breaking out of prison and then lived in a Toys R Us there. I think in the real life story, I think it was a mix between a Toys R Us and between like a Circuit City, I think
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah, so that's kind of the story here. And you have Channing Tatum who's playing this real life guy living in this Toys R Us. And then while he's living in here, he's able to kind of monitor the lives of these employees that work there, and then he forms a connection with one of the employees that works there, who's played by Kirsten Dunst there, who plays Lee. And this movie's kind of half crime thriller, half romantic comedy in a sense, because you have it where he's trying to evade the law, and then also where he's trying to romance Kristen Dunst. Yeah, so that's basically the setup you have with this movie.
Yeah.
With
It,
this,
it's kind of a more comedic version of Catch Me If You Can.
yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit there, because they say that this guy is highly intelligent guy. The way he was able to commit these crimes. You have Channing Tatum, who's handsome, charming. Channing Tatum there, and that's mostly what you see in the movie. The way he's able to just work himself into people's lives. Kristen Dunst, she's part of a church there, and she goes there and volunteers and goes there to support, and also is just a member of the church. She's a part of the choir. You have a short, he's not in the movie that much, but a brief performance of Ben Middleton, who's the pastor of the church, which is pretty funny. And then you also have his wife in the Yuzo Aduba there, who people might know she was Crazy Eyes and Orange is the New Black. They only appear in the movie a little bit there, but there's some fun stuff at the church that makes for some good comedic effect there, especially like when Channing Tatum goes to like a singles brunch that's held by the church there. But the thing is, he's the only guy that shows up. Like, there's no only guys there. Like, it's just him and then a bunch of these other middle-aged women. And my God, are they swooning? I mean, holy shit.
Yeah,
But
he's Channing Tatum.
yeah, I mean, there you go. He even gets caught with something like he's trying to keep up the story of, because he's on the run, but his cover story of while he's dating Kristen Dunst is that, oh, I'm a special agent and I can't show you where I live and I'm kind of undercover there, so I
Yeah.
gotta keep secret. And then there's one person at the table goes like, I wasn't aware that there was a special unit here in Charlotte. And she's a retired law enforcement. He's like, oh, okay, but he's able to get out of it because, well, he's so damn charming. You know what I mean? Like, oh, who cares? So, Dust, what are your thoughts here on Roofman?
He's a man on a roof. No, for real. This is honestly different than most movies that God Derek Cianfrance has done. Because other movies he's done was like Places Beyond the Pines, Blue Valentine, uh, stuff like that, where it's a lot more
Somber.
dramatic.
Yeah.
There's romance elements in Blue Valentine. It's like the most depressing romance movie of all time. But and this is a lot more comedic, but it still has elements of drama and thriller and action. But for the most part, this is basically just about a serial thief who's kind of trying to continue his way of life, but also trying to make, in a weird way, life better for other people, but doing so in not legal ways. It's really weird. This movie's tone is off sometimes because sometimes it'll be a bit more humorous, and then sometimes it'll snap very quickly to being a lot more serious.
Mm. Yeah.
But I never really was fully invested in it and knew when you finally get to the ending of it, you just kinda go, "Oh, oh, that's it then? Okay."
Mm. Yeah, I think it throughout the movie. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot going on. Like by the time
Yeah.
he ends up in the Toys R Us, there's like a moment where okay, he stresses about being caught. Then at one point he just says like, well, the strategy for not being caught if you are on the run is just to stay in one place. If you just stay in one place
Mhm,
and kind of just lay low, then eventually people will just move on to the next thing.
mhm.
And then like I said, this is where the rom com part starts, where it's just like him going on dates with Kristen Dunst and there's that for a good bit of it until it kind of goes like, okay, and then the eventual other hammer is going to kind of come down there. But that's kind of the good bulk of the middle of the movie, and then him hanging out with her kids and everything.
Right.
And it's like, okay, and this movie's over 2 hours. I think you could have maybe cut maybe 10, 20 minutes off of it, and it would probably would have expedited things a little bit better for the movie and made the movie a little bit quicker. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I could definitely see a lot more being cut from this movie. I could definitely see the 10-minute, maybe 15 minutes cut from this movie. You wouldn't lose too much. The thing about this is there are lots of period times in this movie where he's just kinda chilling and just honestly, the most interesting parts of this is just when he's kinda being a weird gearhead and all the little ways he's creating surveillance, and you're just kinda watching him go. He's like yeah, he's just, like, fiddling with tools, figuring them out, using technology. I mean, the guy's smart, the way he's portrayed. He's smart. He has a lot of ingenuity, and you're just kinda like, "Man, and you're just stealing from places?"
Yeah. And I mean, where he's stealing these things, it's like, I mean, why hasn't he be caught sooner? Like, there's like, cause he's living in this Toys R Us and he's eating, like, he's mostly just living off candy for most of the time he's there. He's stealing all that, and then in order to pay for the dates with Kristen Dunst, he's stealing the video games and selling them in a pawn shop. Why nobody flag that and go like, okay, how do you have all these games? And he's able to steal all these games. But okay, sure.
Yeah.
Um, but that's the thing. You just have to kind of go
Yeah,
with
you're just
it.
gonna a lot of parts in this movie, you're just gonna have to just go with it.
Yeah, with it. And like I said, the movie relies on how lovable do you find Channing Tatum
Yeah.
being kind of in this Channing Tatum type role there, being this charming guy there, trying to do the best he can do. Because the kind of it shows you beginning early on in the movie how he gets into crime is because well he's broke as hell, he can't afford a good birthday for his daughter,
He was former military.
former military there. And the birthday cake, I don't even know what the hell that was. Like it was like a pillow or some shit, like covered in icing or something. Like I don't even know what kind of cake that was. Like, man, you can't even go to Walmart and get a good,
Yeah.
decent uh
Look, a Walmart cake is like $7, man.
yeah, like come
In
on.
in the '90s when that took place, that was like, not even that, it was probably like a $4, $5 cake.
So I
You
was
could
like,
walk
man,
right in and get something real quick.
I mean, he's on tough times. So it's like, well, man, he's got to do it, man. He's doing it for his kids, like I'll let him go. So it depends on how much you kind of find him that likable, really, in it. And how invested you are going to be in his kind of story there of trying to make it out and kind of get away there. And besides Channing Tatum, I think Kristen Dunst, I think she's very good in this movie. I think she's a good love interest here. Then you also have like his friend in this movie, played by like Keith Stanfield, who's in it for a little bit there. He's his former military guy, military buddy there. I think he provides a decent performance, and then Juno Temple. So it's a good cast. Like I mentioned, Ben Mendelsohn before, and Uzo Adube there. So really, really good cast. Peter Dinklage is great as an asshole manager at this Toys R Us. He fits in that
Most
role.
appropriate role he's had in a while.
Yeah. So he's good there. So yeah, I mean, I thought I liked it enough. I think for what it is.
That is the best
Uh,
way to put it.
yeah,
Liked it enough.
yeah. And yeah, I liked it enough there for what it's doing and what it is that I was kind of like, okay, yeah, this is fun. Like I said, it could have shaved off those 20 minutes of it. I didn't know this story of this Roofman. I didn't know, so it was kind of something new for me. And like you said, it takes place in the 90s, where he's kind of
This one's when he gets out, it's literally early 2000s. I think 2005, I think, or
okay.
2004.
So 90s, it starts off of the 90s to early 2000s as this
Yeah,
movie
because
takes
he got
place.
out in like 2001, and then. By the way, the guy's name is Jeffrey Manchester.
Mm.
That's his real name.
Yeah.
And then while
And
he was outside of it, he used the alias John, John Zorn.
okay.
So yeah, he was only out. He got escaped from 2004 to 2005, so he was only out for a year,
Mm.
and
Um,
then now he's doing a lot longer.
and they show like the real life people at the end.
Yeah,
They show like the news reports talking about his criminal activity. So if people want to stay a little bit at the end, it's in like in the straight into the credits, but they do show that what the real life guy look like. He looks, I mean, he's not Channing Tatum, but
yeah,
he
ain't
looks.
no, yeah,
But I think it's a decent kind of, you know,
yeah, okay, all right.
yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? If you maybe
You
blind in one
squint a
eye.
lot.
Yeah. So yeah, he got that. But what were some of your thoughts and final thoughts and maybe rating?
Nah, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm at the I liked it enough. Honestly, this is one of the kind of movies we don't really get anymore, which is this feels like a mid-afternoon, you're not really doing much, but it's kinda semi quirky, but also it's got enough seriousness where when they're focused on the drama, you can pay attention, but it's mostly kinda lighthearted for the most part, that you just kinda go along with the ride. It's just like, "Okay." It's one of those, and, we don't get too many of those, it's a Sunday afternoon," or I just wanna put something on, just kinda relax, not really worry too much about it without it being complete junk.
Mm, okay. So what will be your rating, you think?
Honestly, I think this is a very solid rental.
Rental?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
this is a very solid rental. Not a bad rental, not a great rental, but this is a solid rental. I don't think many people would be disappointed if they rented this.
Okay. I'd give it a little slightly above.
Mhm.
I give it maybe like a lowish tune in for it.
Yeah, I was thinking on that. It kind of bordered on the rental and a low tune in.
Yeah. So I kind of
Yeah,
give it that there. And like I said, I mean, the moments are really good
yeah,
there. And when he's with Kirsten Dunst and her family, and she's got kids, and
yeah. It's just cute.
yeah, it's cute there. And the fact that everybody in the movie acknowledges like this is Channing, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? And like there's even a scene where
it's like,
Kirsten Dunst like he like is taking off his shirt and like, wow, you're so buff, like you're so fit, like geez. So
glad you
he's
noticed.
yeah. But yeah, so there's moments like that they're kind of
Yeah.
fun in it. Just wish it was shorter, and then I wish kind of just got to the point a little bit faster there. Is kind of one of my main complaints about it for the movie. But yeah, decent movie. A stream it from dusk and a low tune in for me
Mhm.
for Roofman there in theaters now.